updates on sports stories across the globe. Aaron Akerijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ayo. Good morning to you,
Aaron. So yes. I have a theory.
Okay.
That a day after Arsenal wins, you always come with the red tie. So a closet Arsenal
No, but funny enough, I always like a pop of color, so I always like a pop of color.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, okay. Let's get it started. The big news, certainly, in the world of sports, especially as it concerns Nigeria and the growth of Nigerian sports, is the fact that one man, Dikko, has actually officially taken over the reins of sports in Nigeria. And we cannot say enough thank you to the president, because for the first time in more than 3 decades, we are having a round peg in a round hole. This is, of course, an administrator par excellence. He began as a project manager for FIFA Go project back in the day. This was back in 2004. So he's been around the corner since 2004, and he has gone. And when it comes to capacity building, because, of course, he became chairman of the LMC back in 2014, and on like that. And there are a few people that have been able to develop themselves. The reason why I'm saying this is there are a few people that have been able to develop themselves in the last 2 decades in football and sports generally. Amaju Pinnick is one, Shehu Dikko is another person. They've traversed the world trying to gather the very best of knowledge to help Nigeria. So it only gladdens my heart that this man will now be given the opportunity to experiment and utilize all the knowledge, because he has insisted that sports development is key over medals and going to events to win medals. We're going to focus on sports development. You're looking at me cross-eye.
I'm giving you the side eye.
No, but the truth is this. If we only prepare for competitions, it will be difficult for us to perform in those competitions.
I see the logic in that.
Yes, but that's how... but the truth is that's how sports is actually built globally. But let's get to hear from Shehu Dikko. This is what he had to say after that event yesterday.
The objective of what we are going to do stand on 3 pillars. The first one is we have to understand our sports international asset. So everybody have to key in, everybody have to give you the concessions, the support, the whatever privileges sports need to get, they should get, so that they can be able to deliver and make everybody happy. Second, we have to work on the legal issues, legislative matters, and all the framework. There's so many legislation we have to create around sports to be able to get this jump start.
Now, this is an ominous sign, because the look and feel of the sports fraternity is beginning to be very, very clement and upbeat.
Oh my God, you're such a fan.
No, you do not understand what has happened to sports. It's a game changer. And of course, the chairman of Padmosi International, Mike Etamagbo, who is also a sports marketing agent par excellence, has actually hailed what has happened to Shehu Dikko. Because these were the people that have brought monies into sports over the years. And they've been looking for opportunities to be able to pull in some of the biggest names globally into sports. But if we do not have the right infrastructure and we do not have the right standard for sports to come in and these monies to be domiciled and without any fear of probably corruption or the monies being swallowed by snakes and the rest of them, it's only a good sign. And a lot of people are hailing this as the dawn of a new day, and we are hoping that this continues and he goes on to do well for us. And down the line, we'll look back and say this was where sport changed in Nigeria. Away from that quickly, one man gave a lecture about sports development and how we can use sports as a catalyst to change Nigeria. Amaju Melvin Pinnick, he was in University of Ibadan, the education department, to actually give this particular speech over the weekend. And this is just this is his own reaction to that particular speech, which was well attended, I must actually say.
Federal government, what they have done that is right is the rebirth of the National Sports Commission. People don't understand the anonymity of that. It's so timely, because it can present to us a whole gamut of an industry. Like I'm telling you, from manufacturing to hospitality to a lot, even to tourism. If we have like a national stadium, Abuja, Lagos, it was called even the stadium tour. The stadium tour where Rashidi Yekini used to see, people will go there, the kind of money you make from all those kind of. So, and I'm happy with the caliber of a person that's been entrusted with this responsibility as the chairman of the National Sports Commission.
All right, we are really hard pressed for time. Let's actually quickly talk about the Carabao Cup that actually happened yesterday. Divergent results, and for some it was good, for some it was bad. For Manchester United, that new manager bounce is beginning to kick in. 5-2 was how we actually ended. Manchester City crashing out. No thanks to Tottenham Hotspur beating them 2-1 yesterday in London. And Preston North End losing as one area and the gang for Arsenal actually shone through. And Newcastle avenging that particular loss over the weekend against Chelsea as Chelsea blew hot. But without Cole Palmer, they are maybe hot or cold, as some would say. So let's see how it actually goes. But one man has been garnering the attention. Ruud van Nistelrooy is his name. The return of the Ruud man back into the Old Trafford scenery. Literally, he could not just but help himself with that famous fist pump in the air. And what a way to go. 5-2 was how we actually ended. But with the talks that Amorim might take over very soon, his days are numbered. His days are numbered. Quickly, Waffle B, the Flying Eagles, beat Ghana, our arch rivals, 2-1 in Lome, to pick up that particular gong. And I'll say kudos to them. Congratulations once again. Waffle B tournament in the bag. When it still comes to West Africa football, there is only one, numero uno, and that is the Nigeria national team. Be it the Super Eagles, be it the Flying Eagles, be it the Golden Eagles, be it the Super Falcons, when it comes to West African football. And maybe I would say African football in general, we say one of the best.
All right. Okay, so, I'm sure Senator John Owuaneno was more than relieved to hand over because he had a really chaotic tenure. Is it really fair, though, to say it was all his fault? I'm not sure. No. I think there's,
70% of it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. He walked in on situations that have been lingering on. Now, the question is, I see you've given a massive vote of confidence to Shehu Dikko, and everybody's excited about, the resurgence of the NSC.
No, let me just put it this of course, you'll be on a rise on Saturday on our sports show to come and give us an exclusive there. So
what time?
We're looking forward to 2
p.m.
2 p.m. on Saturday. He's going to be here.
We're looking forward. And we need him to really unpack what the issues are, because the NSC is not a new organization. Okay, some people may say that the ministry was taking precedence over the NSC, no problem. But all of the issues around the sporting fraternity still persist. Is one man going to be the magic wand that you can see Amaju Pinnick is so excited? Is this the magic wand? Is this the quick fix? Because some of the things that Senator John Owuaneno had to deal with were issues within the Super Eagles. That Victor Osimhen saga, it was a really big deal. I know we focus on the Olympics and so forth, but there's so many other niggling issues, some of which we might say are even cultural issues. There's a terrible culture that has been created. So uprooting that.
They're saying that Nigeria's problems can only be fixed by Nigerians. And that's the case. Sports is very peculiar because, trust me, some of the people in sports are very finicky. And it only takes people in sports, not just as administrators, but people that have walked through the line. That's why I started by saying that, okay, this is how he started over the years.
But all I'm saying is cautious optimism, because one man can be all that's needed to make a difference. However, we know that the issues are very deep.
Yeah, they are.
The issues are very deep, and I'm glad that you talked about culture. Because if you don't deal with the cultural issues, and I'm even saying that the way things have been run for a long time, he's going to still find difficulties. Where the advantage for him is that he's been in this industry for a very long time. And I know that you, amongst other sports professionals, have talked about the fact that usually they bring an outsider to come and manage the sports ministry. And that is one of the big problems, big issues that we've had in recent times. But now we have someone who's been in the system for so long, hopefully understands the problems, and is able to bring all stakeholders together to work together for the Sports Commission. We want to be optimistic because we believe that the Nigerian sports industry has such great potential. And what we see now is a far cry from what's obtained in the early 2000s, 90s, where football was thriving. We have one of the best football teams in Africa. We had athletics was thriving. So, and it's now a far cry from that. So we need someone to literally resurrect. There's a lot of potential. There are a lot of people.
Do you know one of the best things that ever happened to this particular change was the fact that they deserve the Ministry of Sports. Those people in the Ministry of Sports, I wouldn't want to mention
I hope it won't
name.
be the same people that will
So
come
no, the point is,
find their way to the Sports
the truth is this.
Commission.
Of course, there will be a lot of pruning and there will be a lot of assimilation, as the case may be, or wherever it is needed.
Yeah.
But one thing is certain, so many people that have held the administrative part of sports hostage.
Yeah.
Right now, they've lost their powers completely.
Okay, I hope
and that
so.
means...
Are they all in the Ministry of Sports because they're there in NFF?
No, trust me, the Ministry of...
everywhere.
No, trust me, the Ministry of Sports.
Let me give a timeline, because you're give a timeline for us to begin to see some changes, especially with Dikko at the helm of affairs. I hope he knows the amount of confidence.
At least you can be sure that in the next 3-4 months, we'll start talking about the Super Eagles with the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we'll get our World Cup campaign back on track.
Yeah.
AFCON is already done and dusted. World Cup campaign back on track.
Okay.
Talk about the Super Eagles.
How about the local league?
Then, of course,
not forget the local league.
That's the beauty about it.
Yeah.
He has headed the local league for years.
Okay.
He started in 2014. I think he was re-elected in 2019 again. And himself and Honorable Unduka Irabo built the fulcrum that should have been the template for other leagues in Nigeria. But they jettisoned it because they did not have the power.
If he can build the Nigerian Football League, it will be one of his biggest legacies.
He has done it before.
But I'm just saying.
He has done it before. But politics moved him aside.
Let's see him do it again. I was going to talk very quickly about Demola Lookman and him going to England, to the English Premier League, and that West Ham is very much interested, as well as other teams, Manchester United and the likes. But that West Ham looks very likely to snap him from Atalanta in Serie A. So let's what team do you think you would go for?
At the moment, it's usually the money, and let's see how it goes. But West Ham United are very, very interested.
Very keen.
Very keen.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is this. If he goes to West Ham United, where would he play?
Yeah.
Not because he cannot find a place within the structure of the team.
Yeah.
But there is a particular Ghanaian, Mohamed Kudus, that plays the almost exact position as a Demola Lookman.
Right.
Hence the problem. So maybe you might have to look somewhere else.
He might, but they are keen to have him, though.
Oh, let's see how it goes.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Always a pleasure.
Always great to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure.